Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are going to talk through Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport, published in 2019. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Okay, let's get started. In the book Digital Minimalism, On Living Better with Less Technology by Cal Newport, the author explores the impact of digital technology on people's personal lives. Newport begins by discussing how many individuals feel exhausted and drained by the constant bombardment of news, gossip, and images from digital platforms. These technologies have infiltrated every aspect of daily life, affecting personal relationships, productivity, and overall well-being. Newport introduces the concept of digital minimalism as a philosophy that emphasizes reducing the amount of time spent using technology and focusing on high-value activities. He argues that minor adjustments and hacks are no longer sufficient to counter the addictive and distracting nature of these tools. Instead, a more intentional and deliberate approach is needed, which involves a digital declutter and the adoption of practices that prioritize solitude, leisure, and attention management. Newport asserts that digital minimalism offers a way to regain control and find balance in our hyper-connected world. The book discusses the unexpected and unplanned impact that new technologies, such as social media and smartphones, have had on our lives. These changes crept up on us and happened fast, before we had a chance to step back and assess what we really wanted out of these advancements. Our unease with these technologies stems from a feeling of losing control and autonomy, as they dictate how we behave and feel, often at the expense of other activities we find valuable. The author suggests that many of these new tools are not as innocent as they seem, as billions of dollars have been invested to make them addictive and keep users engaged. Newport calls for a better understanding of how these technologies subvert our best intentions, using the insights from experts who have studied techno-addiction. In 2013, Adam Alter had a realization during a cross-country flight. Screens were the single biggest factor shaping our lives. He began exploring the psychology behind our compulsive use of technology and discovered that new technologies are well suited to foster behavioral addictions. Two key forces that encourage addiction are intermittent positive reinforcement and the drive for social approval. Unpredictable rewards, like the like button on Facebook, release dopamine and make the activity more appealing. The drive for social approval, rooted in our need for social connection, pushes us to seek validation through social media feedback. Technology companies exploit these forces by designing their products to deliver addictive feedback and create addictive behavioral loops. Our digital lives were crafted in boardrooms, serving the interests of tech investors, and have led us to feel a loss of control over our own autonomy. Newport discusses the concept of digital minimalism as a philosophy of technology use. He emphasizes the need for a more serious strategy to combat the manipulation of new technologies and behavioral addictions. Digital minimalism involves focusing on a small number of carefully selected activities that align with one's values and purposefully missing out on everything else. By prioritizing values and optimizing technology use, digital minimalists transform digital tools from distractions to tools that support a well-lived life. The author provides examples of individuals who have embraced digital minimalism and experienced positive changes in their lives. The chapter concludes with 3 core principles of digital minimalism. Clutter is costly, optimization is important, and intentionality is satisfying. In the book Walden, Henry David Thoreau describes his experience of living deliberately in a cabin by Walden Pond for 2 years. While many people view Thoreau's experiment as a quest for personal transformation, they often overlook the economic theory he was developing. Thoreau believed that the cost of a thing is the amount of life that must be exchanged for it. He argued against the consumerist culture of his time, highlighting how people sacrifice their time and happiness for material possessions. Thoreau's ideas are equally relevant in our digital age, where cluttering our lives with technology and online activities can have a detrimental impact on our well-being. By optimizing how we use technology and considering the trade-offs, we can minimize the negative impact and focus on what truly matters. The book highlights the benefits of intentionally reducing the time spent on social media apps, arguing that this approach allows individuals to maximize the value these services provide while minimizing distractions and time wasted. The lack of adoption of this mindset is attributed to the newness of these technologies and the vague descriptions provided by the companies that create them, which focus on the positive aspects rather than encouraging selective and intentional usage. Newport then explores the Amish approach to technology, which involves carefully considering the impact of new technologies on the values they hold dear. This intentional decision-making process is seen as a valuable alternative to mindlessly embracing new technologies. Acting with intention and being selective about technology can lead to greater satisfaction and a sense of meaning in life. Digital minimalism is the practice of intentionally reducing one's use of optional technologies in order to gain more control over one's attention and enhance well-being. It provides individuals with more freedom, as it allows them to reclaim their autonomy from attention-grabbing technologies and focus on activities that are meaningful and fulfilling. The author suggests a rapid transformation process called the digital declutter, which involves taking a break from optional technologies for 30 days and rediscovering satisfying and meaningful behaviors. After the break, individuals can reintroduce technologies into their lives in a more intentional and value-maximizing way. The author also provides guidance on defining technology rules and offers examples of operating procedures to maintain critical uses without excessive reliance on technology. During the digital declutter experiment, participants went through a detox period where they initially struggled to resist the urge to check their phones and browse online. However, after a couple of weeks, their interest in checking online content diminished. The purpose of this detox is to gain clarity and make better decisions regarding the role of technology in one's life. It's important to not only take a break from technology, but to also actively seek out higher quality activities to fill the void left by digital distractions. Rediscovering meaningful activities and cultivating a rich leisure life will enhance the success of reducing the role of digital tools. After the declutter, the next step is to reintroduce technology selectively and deliberately, based on its ability to serve deeply valued goals. Technology should pass the screening process of supporting important values, being the best way to support those values, and having a specific role and usage guidelines. Many participants found that their relationship with technology changed significantly after the reintroduction phase, with some abandoning social media or using it only for specific purposes. Ultimately, the goal is to prioritize meaningful experiences and let technology play a supporting role in one's life. Newport discusses the importance of solitude and how it played a crucial role in Abraham Lincoln's ability to navigate a demanding wartime presidency. Lincoln often retreated to his cottage at the soldier's home, where he found the time and space to think. Despite not being physically alone, the cottage provided Lincoln with the solitude he needed to reflect and make important decisions. Solitude as a subjective state, where the mind is free from input from other minds, allows individuals to delve into their own thoughts and can be achieved in various environments. The authors emphasize the value of solitude for everyone, arguing that regular doses of quiet can support a monumental life. Solitude can be elusive in today's world filled with constant distractions and technological devices. However, the value of solitude lies in the insight and emotional balance that comes from unhurried self-reflection. One example that highlights the power of solitude is seen in Martin Luther King Jr.'s experience during the Montgomery bus boycott. After being unexpectedly thrust into a leadership role, King turned to solitude to find the courage and clarity needed to face the challenges that lay ahead. Solitude allows individuals to connect with their own thoughts and experiences, leading to personal growth and a deeper understanding of oneself. However, the constant use of smartphones and digital distractions is eroding the opportunity for this valuable solitude. Solitude deprivation, or the lack of time spent alone with one's thoughts, has become increasingly prevalent in our society. This deprivation not only takes away the positive benefits of solitude, but also has negative consequences on an individual's well-being. It is important to recognize and prioritize solitude in order to live a fulfilling and balanced life. A study in 2015 found that teenagers were consuming media, including text messaging and social media, for an average of 9 hours per day. This constant connectivity has had a negative impact on their mental health, particularly in terms of anxiety. A university mental health administrator noticed a sudden increase in the number of students seeking counseling, and she attributed it to the rise of smartphones and social media. Psychologist Jean Twenge further substantiated this claim, stating that rates of teen depression and suicide have skyrocketed, directly correlating with the increase in smartphone ownership. The constant connectivity has led to solitude deprivation, as teenagers are constantly processing and sending messages, which disrupts their brain chemistry. The significance of solitude is demonstrated by Thoreau's retreat to Walden Pond, where he valued both solitude and connection in a balanced manner. To counteract solitude deprivation in the hyper-connected world, practices such as leaving one's phone at home are recommended. Newport discusses the benefits of spending time away from smartphones and embracing solitude. The urge to constantly have a phone with us is exaggerated, and that regularly spending a few hours away from them should not be a cause for concern. He suggests taking regular long walks as a way to reconnect with solitude, referencing historical figures like Friedrich Nietzsche and Henry David Thoreau, who found inspiration and clarity through walking. Walking provides an opportunity for solitude and introspection, away from the constant distractions of technology. The author also recommends writing letters to oneself as a means of reflection and self-discovery, citing personal experience with journaling. Overall, he emphasizes the importance of carving out time for oneself and disconnecting from the always connected world. Personal reflection and introspection is also important, particularly through the act of writing. Newport described using moleskin notebooks as a way to write letters to themselves, allowing them to gain clarity and make sense of complicated decisions or emotions. The chapter highlights the practice of thinking by writing and mentions historical figures like Dwight Eisenhower and Abraham Lincoln who used this method. Writing to oneself creates solitude and enables sorting and organizing thoughts. The author then transitions to discuss the strategies employed by rock-paper-scissors champions, highlighting the role of human psychology and social thinking. He argued that our brains are wired for social interaction and communication, and caution against the potential harm of technology that disrupts these natural human tendencies. Aristotle's belief that humans are social animals has been supported by modern brain scanners, which have shown that social connection is deeply ingrained in our evolutionary history. However, this natural inclination towards social interaction is at odds with the rise of digital communication tools, which have expanded our social networks but decreased the richness and depth of our interactions. The impact of social media on our well-being is hotly debated, with studies showing both positive and negative effects. Positive studies found that targeted and composed information from familiar individuals can boost well-being, while negative studies showed that increased social media use correlates with loneliness and poorer mental health. The paradox lies in the fact that online interaction cannot replace the value of offline communication, which is more deeply fulfilling. This trade-off leads to the conclusion that social media may not directly make us unhappy, but it still detracts from the more valuable real-world interactions that we need. It is crucial to recognize the importance of conversation in our lives and to reclaim it from the shallow connections offered by digital communication tools. The author discusses the philosophy of conversation-centric communication as a solution to the negative impact of digital communication tools on maintaining meaningful relationships. He argues that conversation, involving nuanced analog cues, is the only form of interaction that counts toward maintaining a relationship. In this philosophy, text-based communication, social media, and other non-interactive tools are downgraded to mere connection and logistical functions. Newport suggests minimizing the use of social media by not engaging in likes, comments, or scrolling mindlessly. Instead, he emphasized the importance of investing time in real conversation and face-to-face interactions. Adopting this philosophy requires sacrifices, such as reducing the number of active relationships, but argues that the richness of authentic conversations outweighs the superficiality of digital connections. Newport discusses the importance of maintaining real conversation in a world dominated by text messaging and social media interactions. He suggests a compromise in which texting is consolidated and scheduled, allowing for more present and meaningful interactions when not texting. By keeping the phone in Do Not Disturb mode and checking texts at specific times, individuals can be more engaged in their real-world interactions and strengthen their relationships. The writer also introduces the practice of holding conversation office hours, inspired by a technology executive who designated a specific time each day for phone conversations. This strategy helps facilitate high-quality conversations and builds stronger social connections. Newport discusses the concept of high-quality leisure and how it can be cultivated in a digital age. Low-quality digital distractions have become a substitute for meaningful leisure activities. People often turn to technology to fill the gaps in their lives, but this can leave them feeling unfulfilled and disconnected. To combat this, individuals should focus on cultivating high-quality leisure activities that are demanding and rewarding. Examples from the financial independence community are provided, where individuals find fulfillment in activities such as carpentry, physical exercise, and problem-solving. The author also references historical figures such as Theodore Roosevelt and Arnold Bennett, who advocated for the benefits of active leisure. Prioritizing demanding activity over passive consumption is key to cultivating high-quality leisure. Craft, whether in the form of physical objects or high-value behaviors, is a source of high-quality leisure. In a world dominated by screens, the value of craft lies in its ability to engage our hands and provide a sense of fulfillment. Craft activities allow us to tap into our primal need to manipulate and interact with the physical world. The philosopher-mechanic Matthew Crawford argues that craft-based activities offer a sense of self-worth that digital behaviors lack. Craft activities are grounded in the physical and offer a connection to reality that digital creations cannot replicate. They provide a deeper source of pride and satisfaction. Similarly, high-quality leisure supports rich social interactions. Playing analog games or participating in group fitness activities create opportunities for intense socializing and meaningful connections. These activities offer a break from the superficial relationships and information overload of the digital world. CrossFit is a fitness model that promotes high-intensity, functional movement exercises done in a group setting. The workout of the day, WOD, is a combination of exercises that are performed quickly with the support and encouragement of others. The social aspect of CrossFit is important in pushing individuals past their limits and building a strong sense of community. Other leisure activities that generate similar social benefits include board games, recreational sports leagues, and volunteer activities. The internet has provided opportunities to find communities of interest and access information to support these quality pursuits. Activities that require real-world, structured social interactions are key to cultivating a high-quality leisure life. Newport discusses strategies for cultivating a high-quality leisure life and minimizing low-quality digital distractions. He suggests scheduling specific time periods for low-quality leisure activities, such as web surfing and social media checking, while keeping the remaining leisure time protected for more substantial activities. By confining the use of attention-capturing services to well-defined periods, it becomes easier to fill the rest of the time with high-quality alternatives. He also emphasizes the importance of joining social organizations and groups, as demonstrated by Benjamin Franklin's approach to cultivating a fulfilling leisure life. Structured social interactions and engagements with others provide satisfaction and opportunities for personal growth. Additionally, the author advises strategizing free time by creating seasonal and weekly leisure plans with objectives and habits designed to cultivate a high-quality leisure life. A weekly leisure plan consists of a small number of interesting objectives and tractable habits that help maintain a regular commitment to leisure. At the beginning of each week, the planner reviews the current seasonal leisure plan and figures out how to incorporate leisure activities into their schedule for the upcoming week. This involves scheduling specific times for activities related to the objectives in the plan. The author emphasizes the importance of integrating the leisure plan with one's normal scheduling system to increase the likelihood of following it. Additionally, Newport's book explores the attention economy and the potential impact of critical use on companies like Facebook. It suggests that thinking critically about one's use of social media can reduce the amount of time spent on these platforms and potentially harm their profitability. There are different types of use that companies fear when it comes to their products. The first type, which the author refers to as the Ginsburg and Burke definition, involves users carefully sifting through various free services and using them in a way that optimizes the value received. This type of use is seen as pure digital minimalism, but it can be challenging to put into action due to the resources deployed by companies to steer users away from targeted use and towards more open-ended wandering. The author also introduces the idea of an attention resistance movement, made up of individuals who use high-tech tools and disciplined operating procedures to extract value from attention economy services while avoiding exploitation. Concrete advice is provided, such as deleting social media apps from your phone and turning devices into single-purpose computers by blocking distracting websites and apps. In addition, the author emphasizes the importance of using social media intentionally, like a professional, rather than allowing it to become a constant drain on attention. This involves setting schedules and specific blocks of time for accessing social media, as well as practicing default blocking to bring users back to the ideal of single-purpose computing that is more compatible with human attention systems. Jennifer Grigiel, an assistant professor of communication, has developed a disciplined approach to using social media. She doesn't see it as a source of entertainment, but rather as a tool to extract value for her professional and personal life. She uses Instagram sparingly, mainly following accounts related to her interests, and avoids the Instagram Stories feature. On Facebook, she only connects with close friends and relatives and limits her engagement to keep it below the Dunbar number of 150. She uses Twitter extensively for professional purposes, following high-quality thinkers and influencers in her fields of interest. To cut through the noise of social media, Jennifer uses advanced filtering techniques and tools like TweetDeck to focus on valuable information. Overall, Jennifer's approach involves maximizing the benefits of social media while minimizing distraction. Embracing the slow media movement, as Jennifer does, allows for a more mindful and intentional consumption of news, focusing on high-quality sources and the best arguments from multiple perspectives. Newport discusses the idea of embracing slow media to consume news in a more mindful and intentional manner. It suggests diversifying one's news sources and using different formats for reading, such as newspapers and online news sites. The focus is on quality over quantity, avoiding the frantic cycle of continuous clicking and the distractions of the internet. He also explores the concept of dumbing down smartphones, opting for simpler devices that only allow calls and messages. He highlights the benefits of reducing distractions and feeling more present in one's interactions. The rise of the dumb phone movement and the tools available to support this lifestyle change are also mentioned. The conclusion emphasizes that digital minimalism is a pragmatic approach to utilizing technology as a tool to enhance one's values and create a meaningful and satisfying life. Digital minimalism is not about completely rejecting technology, but rather about intentionally choosing which tools to use and how to use them. The key to success with this mindset is recognizing that it's not just about the technology itself, but about the quality of our lives. Making the transition requires ongoing adjustments and experimenting with different practices. It's about cultivating a life worth living in the modern age of enticing devices. The goal is to take control of our own digital lives and use technology to our advantage rather than being controlled by it. Digital minimalism is a way to engage with and leverage the latest innovations in a constructive manner, allowing us to become better human beings in the process. Thank you so much for watching this video. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'll see you in the next video.